Ha!
Actually, it might be alright.
Yeah, the angle's completely different than the way it actually looks on the thing with the guy.
I mean, as long as they can hear me now that I got the mic in, we should be good. Keep everyone happy.
You're not kidding anybody with this background. Do we just stare at each other?
I mean,
Or do we stare at the...
the thing about the background is we're blocking everything to do with it.
Oh, look, you're live.
There we go, look. Yes, we are live. And
We're so
there's
excited.
3 people watching, so welcome.
It's not about the people. I just did a short and it went 2,000. That's like viral.
That's
In
viral.
3 hours.
I mean, we're going to walk down the street later in Santa Monica Pier. People are going to come up to him and ask for like photos and autographs.
No, that doesn't happen.
Well, there you go.
Well, we'll now, 2,000 views.
I'm Danny D'Angelo. That's my name.
I'm Chris Atkins.
We're on each other's channels.
So
We're astounded that we figured out how to do it.
yeah, so we've got 11 people watching, well 10, someone got bored and clicked off, but can you hear me okay? Because last time I did a live, volume sucked.
Yeah, let us know how the volume is. I would love if this box light was on.
Oh,
That
yeah.
would be incredible.
Just
We got people for that. We have people. There's tons of people. They're all excited. Oh my goodness, look at that.
fancy lights. So we've got 14 people now.
So I'm a fly by the seat of the pants type of guy, and I'm the free laundromat guy. I decided to grab the wife and fly out to California because the weather's nice. When you're talking about the weather, you've run out of shit to talk about.
Yeah, I've heard you say that a lot, which is good, but it's very nice, and thank you, Danny, for coming out to California to visit me, and tomorrow is going to be, I thought you were going to strangle me. Tomorrow's going to be a very good one, because we actually are going to go live at my car washes. He's going to critique them, but he doesn't really know much about car washes.
Critique.
But then we're going to
just
stop
wanna
at some
see the money.
laundromats.
I want to see the money.
There should be plenty of money, I hope. There will be.
You're better now. You're more relaxed.
Well, I'll have to go tonight. I'll have to put in a bunch of money, so tomorrow when we go there, there'll be a lot.
When's the last time you went?
Wednesday.
Okay.
So it's been, what, 4 days?
Would you normally be going tomorrow?
No, I go every Wednesday now.
Okay.
It was Sunday, but the Sunday traffic coming back from Victorville to Los Angeles sucked because of everyone partying in Vegas. So I got a bunch of stuff coming up. Yes, they can hear me. That's good. Volume's good. Hey, Danny. Hey, Chris and Danny. Let's go!
Shelly, read those comments because I can't see them on my telephone, if that makes sense. Someone said something.
John said, don't say anything interesting. I'm on another live stream and need that one to finish.
All right, let's
Sorry,
talk.
John. Appreciate that, John. You got the whole... We need the drum set.
Yeah, I don't have that, sorry.
Well, since this is a big crossover and hopefully Chris's phone will die and then everybody will have to, because I went, when I first visited Brandon in Ohio, that's precisely what happened. His phone was all messed up and his live was all screwed up, and so, I don't know, 1,000 people came over to my stupid phone live, because I had the iPhone and he had a computer and he had a very expensive camera and it all just went to shit.
I watched it all. I appreciate
You did?
it. Yeah, I watch all your guys' stuff, and I appreciate the shout outs, and I'm glad Brandon's not salty that I started a channel.
No, he likes you.
But it's good because you're the laundromat guy, I'm the car wash guy, and Brandon's like both.
Yeah, true.
So, yeah.
He doesn't need us talking about him.
Yeah, let's talk about ourselves. Well, let's talk about the viewers. G'day, viewers.
Shelly, you're supposed to be reading the comments if they're appropriate.
We don't have any
Just
comments.
Feel free to.
I got a comment.
Somebody commented.
Texas F-250 said I swapped. They're both synced. However,
Nice.
that works.
Very weird.
Cool.
Yeah.
He's Texan.
So I'll talk to your people for a minute. I built an empire of laundromats. I made a huge mistake and I bought my first store almost 2 decades ago. I spent I had money burning a hole in my pocket. I did well in real estate. I ran a private investigation firm. I had a lot of good jobs after the Navy. Careers. You know, you watch these people who have these careers and they work and they toil and they save and they scrimp and they die. Every career I had, I was sitting around watching these then old 40-year-old 50-year-olds and thinking, this is terrible, this isn't what I want to do. So I learned and I culled information from those jobs, which stands for just over broke, and would know that I inherently had to, I can't spell entrepreneur, but I knew that I wanted to own the business. Because I worked at a bank, and the people that brought the cash in, they owned the business. And one gentleman actually brought in dollar bills wrapped in hundreds in, ironically, a laundry basket. And that is a longer story, but he would always deposit, this was Wells Fargo back in the day in Arizona, he'd deposit just under 10 grand, trying to avoid the currency transaction reports, being smart. And we knew that he went to other banks. He had a ton of laundromats, he had stores all over Arizona, and I wanted that. I didn't really know anything about it. Anyway, the longer story, later I would start calling around, and almost 20 years ago there was no one doing this. There was no one talking about laundromats. There was no information other than from the distributors, the ones that sell the equipment, the ones that sell the laundromats, the ones that would end up taking me for a ride. So that first store was a horrible, egregious error. Bought a laundromat for 250 grand, which is money that I had, and it was horrible. I was almost in tears.
Did you pay cash for
Feel
that?
bad for me. Yeah.
250 grand cash? You just handed it over for a store?
Yeah. I can sign for 100 grand in Vegas.
But that was it was an expensive lesson, but it's what got you to where you are today. You know, without buying that first store, who knows what would have happened, right?
Right. Well, back then, again, there was one YouTube channel. Well, there was no YouTube channel then about laundromats. There was no information. But then again, YouTube was the little blue squares with the white lettering, how to change a transmission on a Corolla.
Yeah.
A different world. So I bought that store. I was almost in tears because I'm the son of a locksmith, but I had this key ring from that laundry that was as big as your head. And I remember trying to get the coin boxes to open and thinking, what am I doing? I had no idea. Why did he have so many keys? But so in me, I remember that thought process that day. Should I sell this place to some poor other sucker, or should I make it work and make that one thing work? And that one thing was, I don't want my fingers bleeding. It was hours trying to get these boxes open.
Yeah.
I finally realized that he had the keys in order to the machine. So when I got that, it wasn't that bad, but still they wouldn't open. What did I do? I closed the store for the first time ever, went to the distributor, bought all new boxes. So to this day, that store has 1, 2, 3 keys. Keys for the washers, keys for the dryers, and keys to the change machines. Done.
Yeah.
Solve that problem, because we are problem solvers. And then I would realize as time went on that everything about that laundromat was a wreck. I had to retool it, had to spend about another 250 grand doing that. And I would have my fingers in the pies of these laundries now, and I'm out there figuring out that it's rented space, right? When it works well, just like the car washes.
Yeah.
It's rented space, so you've got all of these characters in the Greek tragedy, right? There's the operator, there's the landlord, sometimes they're the same entity, there's the consumer that the laundromat is really not thinking about. But what I figured out was I could go to the landlord, talk to him about this horrible, nasty, filthy, disgusting laundromat and say, I want to be a better mousetrap. I want to run this place better. And those landlords were willing.
Yeah.
And whether it's Santa Monica, LA, I've got a guy, we're going to go visit his store tomorrow. He's got 4 laundromats. He's making millions of dollars.
Yeah.
Millions. He just moved from a condo to a house.
I mean, that's the result from running a business the right way. You know, having the right guidance, and you know, if you don't know, then you just find someone that does and learn from them. And obviously, he came across you, and now you've changed his life for the better. So
He loves me.
you're a life changer.
And with that, we're done. Thank you, everyone. Good night.
But I mean, that's pretty much, you know, with the whole key story. You know, we say money is time, and our time is important. And you know, we don't want to spend all day at our store or the car wash. You know, we want to get in and get out, do what we have to do. And if you're sitting there for 20 minutes trying to fumble around with all these different keys, you know, one key should just open all of them, so you're saving time. And it's just so much easier, and especially when there's other people around, you know, it's maybe in a sketchy area, if someone's watching you, you want to get the money quick. You know, you don't want to just stand there 5 minutes and grab the cash slowly or try and figure it out. You want to get it, put it in the pocket and go, you know, because it's also setting you up for being safer.
That's part of it. And when I built this empire of stores and locations, and we're dealing with tons of cash, and we talked about this earlier, we as YouTubers, which I don't consider myself a YouTuber, but we
Secondary.
we try to keep conversation to a minimum, but we're so excited to see each other. We've become fast friends, and a lot of those topics are being discussed off camera, but I always deposited every single penny. I put it in because Chris is looking to get a mortgage now, and of course they want to look at that, and it's something that you have to do. What percentage are you going to take off the top? You know, it's not the mafia.
Yeah.
And that leads me to something I wanted to say. I've evaluated so many stores with my consulting business where every single time someone comes at me and they say, well, I'm going to buy this laundromat, don't do it. Then they tell me, well, these are the figures, these are the facts, and you know me, no one sells a successful cash business, so it's failing them in some way. There are stores that do well, there are stores that make money, and if you have someone who has a franchise, meaning they own 10 stores, 15 stores, but they're sick and tired of it, they might sell those stores like the way I did for one money. They might walk away from the empire and say, well, I've got a couple of dogs, I have a few stores that aren't really doing well, but I'm going to hand those off for the same money as the good stores, because eventually they're going to come up to snuff.
Yeah.
Anyway, what always happens is, well, I'd like to see the books. Show me how much these stores make, because businesses are bought and sold based on profit. Nothing more, nothing less. You can say, but the equipment is there. So what? What does the equipment have to do in a failing store that's not earning? Nothing. So at the end of the day, let's see the books, and then every time that operator trying to sell that business and lease space says the same thing. Oh, it's a cash business. It's cash.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it. Okay, you know what I say immediately? Show me the physical books. Okay? And these people will say, still lying to you, well, they're no books. And I asked my consultant, look, you might be, I don't know, a doctor, a lawyer, a candlestick maker. You might have worked your entire life in a very good business or worked for someone else, and so you're clueless. So let me ask you right now, if you had a cash business, let's just say that you don't deposit all the money, I'm allowing for that, for obvious reasons, would you write everything down in a book? And now you know what people say, I don't know, or I don't think so, or no, I wouldn't. That's not true. It's simply not true. So the people selling a laundromat that state they don't deposit all the money, then in the next sentence say that I don't write everything down in a book, they're lying. If you had a food truck, and it was, what are you good at? You make empanadas, your grandmother's recipe. I don't know, you're the Australian Mexican.
Sausage
so,
rolls, yeah.
There you go. So you make this amazing food. You're making $100,000 a month in cash in this food truck. Do you write everything down? You have to. Of course you do.
Of course. Otherwise, you don't know what your business is doing.
You don't know what you're doing. You don't know how many sausage rolls or empanadas you need to buy next month or next year. You can never sell that business because you didn't. But here's the point. I can prove it. Al Capone went to federal prison for life. We know he was a murderer. We're aware that it was booze in the day, which is now legal. How did they catch him?
How?
Taxes. Tax evasion is what he got actually zipped up for. He wrote everything down in a book. Here's a mobster writing down payoffs to hitmen. Okay, it was all coded, but eventually they grabbed his accountant. It's a good movie, right? And so there's proof, positive. You could be killing people and paying off cops and politicians and selling illegal substances, gonna get demonetized. And guess what? You write all that shit in a book. So anyway, I don't know how we got on the subject, but when someone tells you that they don't write it down, they are lying. And you know that in there. Show me the books. Oh, we don't have books.
And even if they don't have books, I mean, are you going to take their word for what they say and hand them $300,000 on their word? Like, that's trusting just a stranger. You know, it's your hard-earned money. Do you want to hand that over to a stranger by believing them? I wouldn't do that.
You're the free car wash guy.
Yeah, I mean, they're free. Why not take them? That's my theory.
All right, how many stores are you looking at now?
So I got 3. I'm always scouting for more. I found many closed down ones in the area, and then it's just doing what we do. We contact the landlord who owns the land, try and do a deal with them. Hey, you got this shutdown car wash. It's sitting there. It's been closed down for 3, 4, 5 years. It's not making you any money. What do you want to do with it? I've been in the car wash business for many years. I know how to run them.
You're a child.
I'm happy to sign a 20-year lease. That's a good amount of term. And I'll take the car wash. I'll build it up to be the best in the area. and have a fantastic car wash business. You know, the people in the area, they come up and thank me. They're so grateful that I built this car wash, because they're like, oh, the car wash is like 5 miles away and it's not that good, but there's none others in the area. But thanks to you, you know, now I just travel around the corner, and you know, that's the kind of feedback I get from my customers, and it's a good feeling. You know, they're happy to pay the $2 or whatever I charge for 4 minutes, or $3 or $4 or whatever it is on average per customer. You know, they're happy to pay that because I give them a good experience and they just become a repeat customer. So that's what it's about. It's about finding these, you know, rundown or shutdown car washes, doing a deal with the landlord, building it up to be the best, you know, whatever it takes. You know, you spend on it what you have to, and you reap the benefits and the rewards. And that's what I've done 3 times now in the last couple of years, and I'm just looking to do more and more. And
so my clients always, I just fielded a phone call earlier today, and she said, well, I found a store that's for sale XXX, but it's maddening because all I want you to look for are laundromats that are nasty, filthy, disgusting, horrific. Broken equipment is number one. Really, that's what the laundromat business is. It's equipment.
yeah,
All the ancillary stuff, a good working changer is important, more equipment, good operating hours, and an attendant that is there. It's all in the course, but this is not a sales call. She said, what if it's not for sale? What if it is for sale? Who cares?
yeah.
So you mentioned these car washes being shut down or run down. Have you actively been attacking stores that are simply haphazardly run? Have you done that?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, any self-serve car wash I go to, I will always leave a note under the door, because you never know the situation of that car wash. You know, someone, as sad as it might be, but someone in the family might have recently passed away and they might be in hardship. Even though the car wash is built up and it's doing pretty good, you never know. They might hate running it. They might want to move overseas and they don't know what to do with it. So you never know the landlord's situation. And it never hurts to leave a note. You know, if you don't ask, the answer's always no. So why not just try and contact them and say, hey, I'm in the car wash business. I'm looking to expand and you know, build out my empire. Well, you know, you want to walk away, and I'll pay you a rent check and take over the lease and start making the money. So you never know their situation.
Tomorrow we're going to go check out your car washes.
Yes.
Maybe look at a couple of laundromats, and probably, time permitting, go look at one of my prodigy's stores and see what's happening there. He's not available. He's off sticking his daughter in college, but shout out to Joe. Big brain guy, just, again, life-changing money. We want to get you into this where Chris is teaching, training, mentoring, helping people to do the car wash thing. A lot of this information is similar, and a lot of it is spot on. A lot of it is exactly the same. So
Yeah.
I don't know why I get along with this kid, but you know, I want to help him with that process. I think that all you do is end up becoming genuine and telling the truth, because other folks haven't done it and they don't understand it.
I mean, there's nothing to hide, and a lot of people say, Chris, why are you always putting this on YouTube, and why are you showing car washes that are shut down? You could be getting them. It's like, you know, I'm not worried about any of that. You know, it's like, you give and you shall receive. If I put one online and someone else goes and gets it from under me, whatever. You know, I'm not that kind of person. You know, life is good. You know, my wife was a lawyer, but thanks to the car washes, they allowed her to quit because she didn't like it. And now she's pursuing her dream as an actress, and she's doing really well now, filming.
I thought the lawyer was the
shows.
dream.
The lawyer is a dream, right? You know, you work and you make a lot of money as a lawyer, and you love the job and you pay a lot of taxes. But yeah, I mean, she hated it, and the car washes that we have allowed her to quit. And we moved from a place we didn't like to a little cottage here in Santa Monica, paying a lot more than we should be, which I hate.
Sure.
I mean,
Time
Danny's
to
here,
get a
right?
mortgage.
Yeah, so
The American dream.
yeah, so I'm working. You know, I'm about to be pre-approved for a loan because I'm been in business for 2 years now, and we're gonna start. You know, see what happens. But you know,
I'm an international landowner. You need to come hang out in Mexico.
It's impressive. Do you have any land in Australia?
No.
I'm offended.
I'd like to go diving there.
So you can get bitten by a shark?
Yes.
So we have some questions.
Questions?
So Danny, can you go further? How did you evaluate the first business at, did you say 200,000? And were there books, and why was it a mistake?
I didn't really, I'm kind of a fly by the seat of my pants guy, and it has mostly served me well in life. But I looked at the business, and that was, I think the price was $350, so I squeezed them for $100. And this is the normal thinking. The business was, the laundromat was $350, and I offered them $250, and they took it. That's absolutely fucking ridiculous, because that valuation, there was none. It didn't exist. Why was it a mistake? Because I didn't realize that there are free laundromats 2 blocks away. My nearest and third free store would be just within spitting distance of that location. So having learned, I mean, you can ask me anything you want to know about laundries. It's all very boring to me. I want to get to know you. I want to get to know my clients. I want to understand what you're about, what makes you tick, because this is a fantastic business. It goes further, where the typical laundromat owner has never stepped foot in one. They are 50 plus years old. They've worked their entire lives. They've put money away. They had that good job, or maybe the wife and the husband both worked and they're teachers or municipal workers, and they've got this money burning a hole in their pocket, and they go out and invest it in a laundromat. They listen to the status quo. They listen to the powers that be that are telling them, this is a great business. You're going to get 7 turns per day. As soon as you have 7 turns per day in the equipment, you walk into a laundromat on a Tuesday, there's no turns. So it's preposterous to say that. But these distributors who despise me, you won't see them holding up a phone and making a YouTube video. Danny D'Angelo is full of shit, because I'm not. They don't want folks to understand that stores can be scooped up. Should you buy a laundromat? No. Should you build one from scratch? Good God. What are the environmental impact fees? If you want to build a bungalow like this in Santa Monica, it's, I think the last time I looked, it was over $5,000, because you're destroying the environment. You're putting a washing machine in the ground. So if you build a $800,000 home as a developer, you roll that $5,000, $6,000, $7,000 in environmental impact fees into the home purchase. You're not going to notice it. It's a line item. It's there. Now, when the house gets sold in 30 years or 40 or 50 or rebuilt, or they take it down to the sticks, down to the bones, nobody's going to notice that fee. It's gone. It's a fart in the wind. Guess what? Is someone going to build a new laundromat in Santa Monica? No. It's going to be millions in environmental impact fees alone, because they don't want soap going into the ocean, right? Isn't that the way it works? It just shits itself out in the ocean. It's not a reality. So I've never seen anyone selling a laundromat that said, well, you can't build it for that. You don't go to Walmart and say, well, I want to give you $7 for this t-shirt that's marked at 12. It was made in Malaysia. It's cheap labor. I want to give you, the gal behind the counter is going to say, what the fuck are you talking about? You can't negotiate that. You can negotiate those. I don't know if I answered that question, but
Anyway, but 2 things. My uncle in Australia is watching. Frank, how you doing?
boy, Frank,
And then Mr. Carbon Master, $2. I appreciate the super chat.
$2? Come on, people, give me some money.
What do y'all businessmen think of gas stations?
I don't. I hate them.
I mean, personally, I've never done one. I've never owned one. I can't really speak on them because I've never researched them. So, you know, I wish I could talk more about gas stations. I do know a friend who's worth like $500 million now, and he started with a gas station. So I don't know if that helps, but you know, gas prices these days, I'm sure it's probably good to be on the receiving end of it.
I'm fortunate that I've been consulting with all walks of life. We were talking earlier about a neurosurgeon. The guy's literally a brain surgeon. Your wife, the dream job, right? Doctor, lawyer, candlestick maker. Well, this guy is a neurosurgeon, and he wants to get into laundromats because he hates it, because he's breaking his back. You know, he's no different parking his Corvette in the basement of the hospital and doing brain surgery. He's no different than the guy up the block who's basically taking the bus to dig ditches. You know, he's stuck in an hourly employee role. And some of the folks I've consulted with have several gas stations, and they always tell me it's not what you think. Prices go up, but it's the market. So it starts in Saudi Arabia with what they charge for the barrel, and you can see that it's a commodity thing, and they make pennies. And the guy that makes the money with a car wash, it's probably selling, you know what they want to sell? They want to sell the soda in the big gulp. That's where they make all the money. The straw and the cup is like 6 cents, and they sell them for $1.50. So the reality, again, I'm just reiterating and regurgitating what I've heard people say, is that dollar stores are dying. You know, where's the 99-cent store anymore? It's bullshit. It's where's the dollar? It's $1.19, $1.25, because they're trying to buy items in China, bring them over here and sell them at a profit. That's all I know.
Very wise words.
We have some more questions. This one's for you, Chris. Chris, can you tell us a little bit about what the leverage of doing the long-term lease deals with the landlords, and why are the landlords amenable to doing these longer deals, and how does this work?
Sure. I mean, basically they have a car wash that's either closed down or really run down. They've had it for 30 years. They don't really care about it. You know, they could be looking to retire, and they really don't, you know, it's not really making much money, so they don't really care about it. And they're not really sure what they want to do. So, you know, that's when someone like me will come along. I'll leave a note under the door explaining, hey, I'm in the car wash business. I know what I'm doing. I'll be a fantastic tenant. Let me, you know, take it from you, and I'll give you a rent check. You can sail off into the sunset, and then I'll build it up and, you know, have a good car wash.
There's a tipping point. So there's so many similarities between what we do. The tipping point is, if that laundromat or car wash is making $10,000 a month net, that seems like a lot of money to a lot of people. Now, we need to add other factors. How much time and energy are they putting in? I know operators that literally go in at 6 a.m., sweep the floors, pass their wife as she starts her shift at noon, and the two of them have been working in this laundromat, building up the wash-dry fold for 20 years. They're making that $10,000 a month, but what is the tipping point? What's the reality of that? They haven't fed the fucking pigeons in 20 years. They haven't lived the life. My wife and I are here. I brought her on the business trip because it's lovely. The windows are open, for God's sake. But I digress. I can do that. The tipping point is, okay, we're talking about an operator that's making $10,000, but they're spending 80 hours a week in that laundromat or car wash. So what is it really worth? Now, in that case, should they hand the keys to someone and walk away? Yes. They know what the place smells like. They know what the kids that walk in there that irk them, that need to be hit with a broom, look like. It's their entire life. I've literally taken the keys from operators who are also landlords, and they thank you later. Now, let's talk about the stores that are only earning $2,000 a month. The equipment is very old. The procedures are falling. We've all used car washes probably more often than laundromats. Thank you. I forget who's who here. And you know, you can go your entire life and never step foot in a laundromat. Never having used a self-serve car wash is probably a little more uncommon. And if that guy's making $2,000 a month and your rent would be $1,700 or $1,800, that's the conversation. I have tons of live landlord calls on my channel, so you people should move over. But what I'm saying is, why don't we go from you're collecting $2,000 a month and working even 30 hours a week? Because the goal is that this guy, he and I both know, I would open my doors on my new stores, walk away. I remember my last store that I opened in Arizona, we left, and one of my maintenance guys called me, and we literally turned the sign to open and walked out. Everything was done. It's like a cooking show, Bobby Flay, you know, out we go, the back door, and he calls me and says, bro, the tile, the grout in the tiles is still wet, and people are sliding around. People are coming and using the store, and the tiles, they were all moving around. I was like, well, sorry, you know, we'll come back tomorrow and fix it. I don't know what I was saying, but there's a tipping point, and that tipping point, you're not selling a dream, and you're certainly not bullshitting. You're calling these entities in the Greek tragedy, and you're saying, look, you're in there working. Go feed the pigeons. Get out of here. Here's a rent check. And they know they're amenable to that because they know that rent check makes more sense to them. And it's go back to landlording. That's the conversation. Get back to landlording. Stop trying to run a business. You're running it into the ground.
Yeah. And for the first part of that question, just quickly, why 20 years? Why the longer the better for me? Say I have it for 5 years and I want to go back to Australia, or I really get sick of the car wash business and I hate it and I want to get out. Well, I'm selling a business with 15 years left on the lease, which is worth something. It's worth maximum what I can get for it with 15 years. If I have the 5-year lease, you know, and I want to sell it with 1 year left on the lease, where who's going to pay 2, 3, 400,000 for a car wash? Who's going to only have it for 1 year? You know.
Also,
Not gonna happen.
you pretend to be a landlord here, and I'll make 2 calls.
Hello? I want to try to run this car wash. I think I can do really well at it, please.
Sure, where do you buy supplies from?
I don't do supplies. I don't know. But I want to sign a 1-year lease, and I think I could do really well because I'm a personable guy.
A 1-year lease, I'm not looking for that. I'm looking for a solid long-term tenant who knows what they're doing. They've got
Well, he's
previous
already hung
experience.
up.
Yeah. Goodbye.
He's watching Jerry Lewis reruns. Then the phone rings, and the guy says, "Hello, Chris. Good afternoon. My name's Danny D'Angelo. I'm interested in running and operating this car wash that I saw on the corner of 4th and Elm Street. Look, I've been doing this for a very long time. I've got success stories in 3 states. I've got 37 stores, and at the end of the day, I want to give you a rent check. The place is being run into the ground. I need a 15-year term because I'm going to be spending tons of money on new Phlogisteins and ship monkeys. I don't know what the equipment in a fucking car wash is called, but
And I'd say perfect.
I would.
You know, my current tenant, his lease is coming up next year. Let's stay in touch, and you know, he's not running it the way it should be. He's making it. You know, there's homeless at the back. Customers are complaining all the time, and I don't think it's going to last much longer. So once his lease is up, let me give you a call and we can talk lease terms.
yeah, but it's all bullshit. It's not going to work. It doesn't work everywhere. It can't work here in Santa Monica. It doesn't work in LA. It doesn't work in New York. No, when I started doing this almost 2 decades ago, I didn't know that it would work everywhere. I didn't know that I'd have somebody opening a store in Dubai. I didn't know outside of Paris, that's France, Poland. I've been written up in Forbes, Poland. I don't even speak the language. That student has 11 stores. So it does work, but it's not about that store. You're not buying a diamond ring that your fiance has eyes on. That's not this. It's not a white picket fence, perfect home with a negative edge pool. It's not that. It's business. And so if landlord A says, "No, I love my tenant, he's good," I've got 740 videos on my channel, me live calling landlords on behalf of my student. The student's listening in, I'm making the call. It's entertaining. They're uncut videos because I don't know what they're gonna say. They zig, I zag. And many times it's a F you, have a nice day, we don't want it. You know what happens? Because I've been doing this so long, I tell my student, keep a close physical eye on that location. Watch what happens in a year. Set your calendar. We call back. There's no "I told you so." I'll have guys in Brooklyn that slam the phone down on me. A year later, we call. They're my best friend. "Oh yeah, I remember you, Danny. Yeah, let's talk about lease terms, right?" It changes over time. Nothing lasts forever, other than my marriage.
Ah.
There's another question here for you, for Danny.
No.
Next.
Just took over, Michael Vasquez says, just took over a mat as a covered land play. Been running it for a few months and it seems to have plateaued, which is not very profitable. What should a 2,400 square foot mat in a rural area be making per month?
I have no idea. I don't know what a 2,400 square foot laundromat in a rural area should be earning. I guarantee that it's plateauing because you're not doing shit as far as advertising, and you have to. I don't care what business you have. If I Google your zip code and I say laundromats near me, are you going to come up? You, my brother, own a laundromat that you took over as a land play. You need to send me an email. Seriously. Don't think for a moment that watching YouTube videos is enough. You're not trying to fix a tire. You're not trying to change a tire. You're not trying to fix your marriage. You know, that's something else that you should probably spend money on. So seriously, email me, because it's not only the advertising. What if you had that store full on a Sunday? How many pieces of equipment are broken in that store? So it's an equipment business. You need to get out and retool. I'll also ask you this. You can comment. How much does a brand new 60-pound front loader cost? Brand name be damned. Hips, Speed Queen, Wascomat, ADC, Dexter. Brand name doesn't matter. I say that. Another reason they hate me. How much does a brand new 60-pounder cost?
40,000.
Let me know. He doesn't know. And that guy owns a laundromat and he doesn't know. My record stands as perfect. I have a seminar, 300 people in the room, I put up a picture of a 60-pound front loader. How much does this cost? First I ask, how many people here have laundromats? A bunch of hands go up like mad. Okay, how many of you have more than one? A few hands go down. How many have 5 or more? Eventually I end up with a couple that's got 7 laundromats. I put a picture up a 60-pounder. I say 60-pounder hips. How much does it cost? They don't know. How could they not know? What costs more, a Ferrari or a Hyundai?
Ferrari, that's a trick.
How do you know? You ever drive one?
No, it's just kind of the common knowledge.
He's a fan. He knows my words. It's common
Shout out from
knowledge.
Victorville.
But the why is because it's an Italian handmade sports car. It's simple. Hyundai's probably a better car, but it's not a trick question.
Yeah. Any other questions?
Yeah, so
I feel for that dude because the truth is he did it as a land play, but now he needs to turn it into a cash play. He needs to retool that store after he emails me, and then you're in for a penny, in for a pound. If you had one car wash, it's a game. When you have 3, 4, 5, it's substantial wealth. 10,
Yeah.
come on, can't even count those on.
The more you have, the more you make, providing you run them the right way.
it sounds like there's some people are starting to get into some minutia over machines. It's not as much business. Do you want a question about mold and washing machines?
You're right about the minutia.
Keep that one short.
Let's
You know, the question, if you go to my website, and again, I'm not trying to tell you to do exactly that, but if you go to my website, I have a frequently asked questions page. When you go to Walmart, what do you want to know? Do they have the underwear I like, and how late are they open?
You wear
Or
underwear?
no, I don't. But where are they located? All that. My website has FAQs. There's 3 pages of frequently, and those questions are answered in the course that I built, because those are important questions.
Yeah.
And that's part of it. What I would say that's a question not about mold in a washer, but it's a question, I mean, why are they here, right? It's a question about how you get that mold out. No, it's a question about who gets the mold out. Your contract attendant. You have to have human beings in your store, contract attendants. It's different with the car washes. I mean, you only go there, you have a guy.
Yeah, the reason I only go to mine once a week, for those of you who don't know, I live about 2 hours away from my car washes because of traffic, an hour and 20 without traffic. He's going to experience that drive tomorrow. The only reason I can do that is because I have a trustworthy, hardworking employee who treats the car washes like it's his own. And that's what you really need. If I didn't have him, I'd have to either move out there or I would have to drive there every day, because in the beginning when I first opened the car washes, they took a couple of months to build up and get busy, and the customers realize it's open. But I could get away with going every second day or every other day. But now that they're really busy all the time, I'll clean up, and 12 hours later it's trashed. So
He doesn't watch your channel, does he?
he does.
He's going to ask for a Ray. What's his name? Oh God, there he is.
No, that's Stuart. Stuart. The
Uncle
girls will
Stu.
be walking down soon.
So there's some more.
Is George coming?
George, where you at? He doesn't watch YouTube.
I'm a huge James Bond fan, and these guys are friends with George Lazenby
We're going to make it happen.
on Her Majesty's Secret Service, and I am hell bent to meet this man.
He didn't come to California to meet me.
No.
He came to meet George.
I want to buy the man a martini, comment how it's made.
So we're going to make that happen probably tomorrow night. So
Yes.
we'll get some footage of Danny meeting James Bond.
Yes,
So
please.
we have some other good questions. This one's for both of you. What's your thoughts on the next 12 months in both car wash and laundromat industry with looming downturn?
Out of
Wax-
business.
wax
Doesn't
on.
doesn't matter.
Out of business.
Doesn't matter. The only thing so COVID happened, right? And the bubonic plague, right, that happened, I don't know, in the 1600s. Don't go Google that shit and get on my case. These plagues kill more people because there was no cleanliness, there was no sterility. Laundromats are essential businesses. Sorry, bro, but you don't need to have your car washed. I got a guy that comes to my house and washes my truck. My truck won't fit into a car wash. But I digress. The Coin Laundry Association fought in all 50 states to make certain that laundromats remained open. And I'm talking about this thing that happened that no one saw coming except for Joe Biden. And we remained open. So the downturn, the one good thing about it, right? You're buying timepieces, gold, silver during the, I mean, buy low, sell high, it's not hard. These knuckleheads that don't know how to run these businesses, they're hurting because they are a doctor, a lawyer, a candlestick maker in their other lives, and they're running a laundromat or a car wash on the side. They're going to lose the business because they don't understand how to run it. It's sad but true. It's everything else.
Yeah, and
It's costing you more to get to your car wash.
I mean, to speak about when the virus came along, to be honest, self-serve car washes, we didn't have to close. We could stay open. You know, you're in the bay, you're 6 feet apart from everyone, so you're not really, you know, it's no big deal. So we could stay open. And the good thing is the profits went way up because the full-service car washes, where people go in your car to clean the inside and detail it, they had to close because that was human contact and all that kind of stuff. But the self-serve car wash, you go there, you don't see anyone, so we could stay open. And even though it may not be essential, you know, I mean, who wants to drive around in a dirty Ferrari?
The Uber driver that brought us here did.
Yeah, well, tell him to go to Victorville and wash his car. But yeah, business boomed during the virus, to be honest. And you know, if you want to talk about the downturn in the economy, I mean, I think people still love their cars, and they're always going to have $2 or $3 in their pocket to afford a wash. So
I'm not looking for clicks. You know, I love
I
Meet
am.
Kevin, Graham Stephan,
Andre.
and a lot of these guys, it's just, the sky is falling, I'm selling everything. And then you watch 20 minutes into the video and they say they sold a pair of shoes on eBay. You know, it's a little ridiculous. The more money is made worldwide when there's a downturn, when there's a crash. It's not hard. It's not about buy low, sell high with everything.
And the ones that don't survive through the downturn is the ones that we go scoop up.
Right,
You
of
know,
course.
if someone doesn't know how to survive through it, well then they don't know, but we do. So that's when we take over and find the good deals.
Wonder Twin Powers activate. He has no idea what that's about.
Well, you didn't blow it up, so you don't know.
It's the Wonder Twins.
Wonder Twins.
Form, blazing sword.
So we have more questions. This is for the both of you as well. I'd love to hear from each of you. How do you structure a seller finance deal for laundromats and car washes?
Go first.
Well, in my experience, I've never done a seller finance deal. My
Right.
uncle Stuart has. He's bought a car wash. He didn't want to give the 200 grand up front, so he made the seller carry the loan for him. And you just, you know, whatever deal, he doesn't believe in buying.
No, you're not paying attention.
No, car washes, I believe you can buy, you know, and then, you know, I mean, he's bought
Sure,
many, and
sure.
he's made a shitload of money, so
Yeah.
it works. You know, you just, whatever you negotiate with, whether you pay him off in 3 years, 5 years, 7 years, at 3%, 4% interest, whatever it is. Everything's negotiable. If you don't have anything to put down, well, he might be a little weary because you don't have any skin in the game, but it's all about the deal you make, you know. Everything's negotiable, you know, and you just come with the terms that you want.
I just bought 107 acres up near the Grand Canyon, Arizona, 7,400 foot above sea level. It's beautiful right now, same weather as we have here. There's a whole plan in works. I'll probably make another YouTube channel about that. Seller finance deal. So I went to, the only thing I concern myself with is no early payment penalties. Meaning, when I pay that land off, when it makes sense for me to do so, because they gave me a preposterous rate, better than any bank could. If I want to pay it off early, for whatever reason, or sell it, pay it off, sell, which I won't do, you don't want to, but let's talk about laundromats. You absolutely, positively will not be buying a laundromat. I'm the free laundromat guy. If you've got 110 stores in your zip code, you're going to go scout all of them. You're going to find the horrific, nasty, disgusting, filthy ones, and you're going to call the landlord. You're not going to have seller financing to buy a laundromat. For the love of God, stop buying laundromats. Thank you. And maybe the store that this is in my course, I say, don't fall in love with one store. Again, it's not a diamond ring. It's not a white picket fence. You're going to look at every store and say, okay, it's got good bones, the gas, water, electric is there, that's what we are after. I say that to landlords. I say, do you know why I'm calling you? Landlord thinks for a second, oh, I know why, because of location, location, locate. They're used to saying those words, so they regurgitate it. No, I'm calling you because of infrastructure. It's what I need to retool the store. Remember my first store? I had to retool it. I just didn't know it was going to need that. Now I know they all do. I've got Luke and Lee Williford, good friends of mine, North Carolina. They've got 40 stores. Come on, that's Serious money. Is that why Luke lives on a lake in a mansion? That's why he has a beautiful blonde wife? No, probably not that part, but the mansion lake thing, yeah, laundromats.
Yeah.
So we have more questions. Could each of you give
Show your.
maybe 3 tips on
Yes.
buying?
3 tips.
Sorry.
I only have 1 tip.
I got 1.5.
Hardy har har. Tips on how you fix up rundown car washes or laundry.
Other people's money.
So how we fix up rundown car washes?
3 tips.
3 tips.
Go. Fast-paced 3 tips. Go.
Watch my videos and copy my car washes. Have 5 different hoses in the bays. Have a 10 rotary switch, so you give the customer all the different options. Keeps them in the bay longer, but it's not like you're ripping them off because they love all the different options. You got the air dryer, the tire cleaner, the pre-soak, and the high pressure. All that stuff in the bay. Whereas if you go to a crappy car wash and there's only 2 hoses, the high pressure hose and the brush, well, they're only going to stay they can do their car in 2 or 3 minutes, which is like $2. But if you got all the 5 different hoses in the bays and 10 different functions,
They said 3 things, not 3 minutes.
okay, 5 hoses in the bays, 10 rotary switch, and just buy the equipment and put it in.
Tips to retool a laundromat. First of all, the lease has to come first. So you've got a lease and you have that piece of paper which qualifies you. Then you go to the distributors, plural, all of them. You literally have them come to the store and fight for your business. When they see their trucks parked in the parking lot, they're going to be beating each other over the head. They're going to stab each other with their pens, hit each other with their clipboards. You're now a qualified buyer for the equipment. Talk to the guy, Matt, how much is a 60 pounder? I don't hear him coming back. And if he phoned a friend or he tried to find the price online, it doesn't exist. So have the lease, then bring every distributor, because you don't care if you have Hips or Speed Queen or Wascomat or Dexter, it doesn't matter. There's no Cadillac, there's no Ferrari in laundries. So do that, use other people's money, because the distributor is going to go to the manufacturer and they're the ones that are going to give you the loan. How do we buy cars at 0%? Who provides you a 0% loan? The manufacturer. They're the only ones that can. You cannot buy a laundromat through endemic financing. Now I'm going on. You can't go to a bank, say Wells Fargo or Chase, been with them for 30 years, you've got $500,000 in there. Hey, I want to buy a laundromat. They'll go, no. Why? Because the actuary tables say it's a bad bet because so many of them fail. So should you get into it? Yes, because you're not going to buy it. Period.
He's
Free
digressing.
laundromat. Free laundromat. I'm not digressing. That was 3 things.
More questions.
More questions.
How do you guys feel? Like, are there equity groups or conglomerates coming in and trying to like buy up, strings of? I guess the way this person phrased it said, are equity groups shutting down opportunities in both industries?
No, there's no big equity group shutting down car washes that I'm aware of. Definitely not shutting down mine or any that. Self-serve car washes have been here for so long in Los Angeles. There's thousands of them, or probably hundreds in California, thousands all over America, and they've been there for so long, 40, 50 years. It's very rare someone builds a brand new self-serve car wash these days. Not to say it can't be done, but again, like the laundromat, why would you do that when there's that many already existing ones with the infrastructure that aren't being utilized to their fullest potential? Why not just go to them, get it for free, take it over, and build it up? So
it's been tried before in the Southwest, and it doesn't work because a good laundromat will be cash. I'm sorry, a good laundromat will be cash. And so how is a conglomerate or a real estate investment trust, or God forbid, what's McDonald's? What's the word? Franchise. Thank you, from the cameraman. How is a franchise going to work in a cash business? It doesn't. So I have a video on my channel where I called a franchisee, and he was so Winnie the Pooh. He was just, or is that Eeyore?
that's Eeyore.
He was not happy. If you make a better hamburger than McDonald's, it doesn't mean you should go out and try to start a franchise of your own. It doesn't mean that. It means you should make burgers in your kitchen, okay? And should you try to, who would want a franchise? So therefore, who are they screwing into these deals? They hate me because I say these things.
Yeah.
And they should.
I got a question here saying, how do you find the landlord? A few different ways. The best way is, going to the car wash and they're actually there. You can just meet them and talk with them. But the odds of that timing is very slim since they're probably rarely there. I leave notes under the doors, so you know, hey, I'm
We've
interested.
heard that.
It's my
Heard all
thing.
about your note.
Yeah, you leave a note.
Do you leave a dick pic?
Oh wow, that's if the deal is done. But
Trying to throw him off the rails.
yeah, you leave a note under the door. You can call the city, and if they're willing to give you some information, you can look online. You know, you may have to pay $1 or $5 to unlock the information on the LLC that it's in.
All of this information is in my course,
Oh yeah, Danny's got a course. Click
Cleaning
my
up
link
in-
in the bio to get it.
Cleaning up in laundromats. So landlords aren't hiding to begin with. They are taxpayers. They are doing business. It's not hard. So first of all, when you're standing in front of the laundromat is the best place to start. Don't go home and hide and sit on your computer. If it's a strip mall, there's a pizzeria next door. People make the mistake, the first thing they do is walk into the pizzeria and they start elbowing their way to the front of the line and they say, who's the landlord? Don't do that. How do you know that the pizzeria shop owner isn't the landlord and runs the laundry? Now you've blown the deal. Instead, order a slice. Sit down. You're going to learn something in 10, 15 minutes. When my students go into stores without a laundry basket full of laundry, they get picked out of a crowd instantly. Like, what are you doing here?
It's awkward. I've
It
done it.
is.
It's very uncomfortable. Everyone's there and like, why are you here? Not so much at a car wash because car washes are more open and whatever.
A woman in a red pencil skirt walks into Checker Auto Parts and everybody's like, well, what is happening? Does she need help? She probably needs a new battery. Don't stick out. Go order a slice of pizza. Figure out what's going on and then walk up and say, oh, hey, I want your landlord's number because I'm going to open a pizza shop. No. Say that you're an accountant. If you look like him, say that you're a personal trainer. Use your strengths, and I don't mean those kind of strengths, but say, you know, if you look like an accountant but aren't, say, hey, I want to open an accounting firm next door. And if you're an H&R Block, you're not going to say that. Number one, do that. Then go home, do the computer thing. Everything lasts on Google forever, so Google the address. If they've ever hired someone to trim the trees or remove the snow in the wintertime, not here, you're going to find information on that landlord. If it's deeper, it's a real estate investment. By the way, it's not always landlords. Many times it's a third party, management company, whoever handles the lease, whoever sits on the other side of that table. And when you're at Walmart, you don't think about who the landlord is, but guess what? There's a sign in the corner of the parking lot in every Walmart, and it says Schwartz, Schmeckel, and Stein. I don't know why they're all Jewish, but call this number and talk to Jerry Stein for lease information. It's there. But it's like fat kids in donut shops. If you're not looking for it, you'll never see it. It's there. They're not hiding. Worst comes to worse, talk to a real estate friend. You can't swing a dead cat without hitting a realtor, okay? And why do I say friend? Because this will be a person that's doing you a favor. You're not going to go in the phone book and call realtors and say, hey, I need you to do this thing. There's no money in it for them. So have a friend, your auntie, your cousin, a guy you went to high school with. Hey, can I send you an address every now and then? You're not going to be doing 30 of these a day. And they can send you back who the landlord is every time.
Yeah, and it can get frustrating. I mean, I've left hundreds of notes all around car washes in California, and
It's because you're noticed.
you don't hear really anything back, you know. And I do phone consultations for whoever wants to. I will have people call up and they, I dropped a note at this car wash and I didn't hear back. Well, you just dropped one note, you know, drop 10, 15, 20, and if you get one response, that's good. But you know, it's all about the numbers game. If you just do it one time, well, you know, then game over.
I say you should probably do a thing where you start pulling those hoses out of the wall. You'll find the landlord real quick.
Yeah, I love when people do that at my car wash.
Yeah, they'll show up. They'll come like a ninja out of the ceiling tile.
Yeah, I'm gonna go WWE on their ass.
So we have some more questions. One kind of, I don't know if this has been an ongoing thing on Chris's channel, but did you buy that tunnel wash yet?
Oh, with the little short video I put up? No, I didn't buy it. I haven't really delved into it too much. You know, that's kind of a whole nother ball game when you start talking in millions of dollars. I don't talk millions just yet like Danny does, but you know, 3 car washes do pretty well for me, and the tunnel wash is a whole nother ball game where just to upgrade that whole tunnel wash machine will be like 1.5 million to put a whole new machine in. And right now I'm not quite there, but I'm working on it. I don't have a real strong desire to do that. I have a strong desire to do self-serve car washes because that's what I really like. So that's why I haven't pursued it. Not to say I won't in the future, but you know, self-serve car washes are my true love.
Scalability is a thing, and the bigger you get, the more you're willing to spend. You're not taking risks at that point. You're bringing bankers in, and you're bringing them on board and saying, it's a different conversation.
Yeah.
Hey, I want to get a laundromat maybe. That's a different guy than the guy that says, I've got 30 stores, I want to build one more. No problem.
Yeah.
So more questions. This one's great.
More questions.
This one is for Danny. People, Trustin would like to know, do laundromat services work in rural areas?
Yeah, absolutely. They've got we take the family and we all ski. So we jump in the car, we drive from Cave Creek to Aspen every year. It's a 12-hour drive. I'm the only one that stays awake most of the drive. There are rural laundries all along the way. The guy that mentored me in the business, who was the son of the guy that brought the laundry baskets into, as a callback, into the bank, they ran those stores. And once a month, the Native Americans will come in and just, their coin boxes are loaded with hundreds and hundreds of dollars in cash. Yeah, it works. And again, if you're rural, where's the nearest major metropolitan city? Would you be willing to drive 45 minutes to run 3 or 4 or 10 laundromats? Yes, you would.
I'd love to drive 45 minutes.
Shit. People drive to a shitty job. In the city where I'm from in New York, they'll take a cab and a bus and 2 trains just to get to work, where they're doing their 8-hour-a-day shift, and then they do the same thing at the end of the day. So think about it in those terms. Whether or not it's worth it, yeah, it's worth it to get out of the rural area. And if there's 2 laundries there, take one over and crush the other guy. Sorry for your luck.
There you go. It's business. I have to jump in because Mr. Carbon Master has another $2 super chat, which I appreciate.
What is happening? You made $4?
Super chats, if you want to keep pissing Danny off.
Somebody
chat.
super chat me 100 and I'll give it back to you.
What are y'all personas on movie theaters? I used to love going to movie theaters before the whole pandemic. That was fun.
He
Now-
gave you $2 and you have to read his dumb questions?
Yeah, it's not dumb. It's good. But now I haven't been back since because I don't want people coughing on the back of my head during the movie because I get annoyed by that.
I love films. I love movies.
Yeah, you're a movie buff.
But now we have our home theaters, and why bother? You know.
I mean, if you're talking about owning one, does it mean
What?
that?
Yeah, I
Okay.
think he wants to
Why
know.
don't we open a Blockbuster Video, bro? Come on.
Again, I've never
Drive-throughs.
never thought about it.
Let's do drive-throughs. Sounds like a great idea. My wife's giving me a face like I'm not supposed to talk to this guy. Send me $2. I'll answer your question about albatrosses.
Yeah, I never thought about it. Never done it. I used to frequent them a lot, but yeah, not.
Where are you, Mr. Carbon Master? Because you're probably already drinking and we haven't started
Yeah,
yet.
what state are you in? I'm curious.
Okay, so in the meantime, Laughing Wolf would love to know from the both of you, how do you feel about vending machines, ATMs, Bitcoin ATMs, etc. at your car washes?
Bitcoin.
Do one thing and do it well. I ended up with dozens and dozens of free vending machines, okay? Because every time I would take over a store, there's one soda, one snack. Don't do it. You might watch Brandon Investment Joy. Well, he's got a YouTube channel, so every time he pulls the money out, it might make sense to do that. I have consulted with dozens, if not hundreds of people that tried to go out and build a vending route, and that's great. But there's a few guys in every city that do, entrepreneur here. But those areas have been built up, and they're already doing it. If you can get your foot in the door, do a bunch of laundries also, but do one thing and do it well. Do you realize to fill a Dixie Narco 600, it's the entire bed of your truck full to the brim with soda. Now, you watch the pros, the guys at Khalil, and they're filling those soda and vending machines in 8-10 minutes. Pull the money out and they're gone. I do it or you do it, we're gonna take about 45 minutes to fill it. And then, it's Arizona, it's here, it's the summer, one of those cans pops, you're there for 2.5 hours cleaning up that sticky mess. What I always did, give that away. Take a check in the mail every month. It's a nice $200 check and you don't have to deal with the bullshit.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, at my car wash, there's two types of vending machines. Obviously, the ones that are for the car wash, you give out towels and stuff, and smelly trees and armor oil and all that kind of stuff. And they're great to have, you know, customers love them. They're a great addition. They make a little bit of money, you know, you sell, I mean, you buy them for like 30 cents, you sell them for $1. So, you know, it can be a little addition, but it's more there just for the customer, because if you don't have them at your car wash and they want to dry it with the towel, well, then the car wash down the road has them, they're going to go to that one. So
That's a really good point, because you're going to have the vending machine for soap and softener, etc. Now they do bleach. They actually do liquid bleach. They've figured it out. And you have to have that. You know what I charge? They cost me 75 cents, $2 a piece. Because you have to have someone that can walk in there with dirty clothes and folding money and leave with clean clothes and no money. There might be a guy who's a businessman who doesn't really do his own laundry, but he's stuck here in Santa Monica, comes into the laundromat, he's looking around, well, I don't have soap, I don't have bleach, there's the machine. He doesn't even think about it being $2, $3, $4, but I didn't want to be in the business of selling product. So I just raised the prices to an astronomical amount. And they could get it, the ones that needed it, but most people will come in or go to the dollar store and buy their soda. Soda?
soft drink.
So Mr.
I need a
Carbermaster
drink.
has responded. He said, when I was younger, I thought movie theaters would be a good investment. So,
Love you, man.
yes. Okay, so we have another
Car
question.
washes.
So earlier, Danny, you said
Soon to be movie
that
theaters.
that old adage, location, location, location. Somebody would like to know, is there a best in practice location for laundromats or car washes?
Yeah, it's all in my course.
Well, since he won't answer, I will. I'm kidding.
Location is important, but predominantly what we're doing is taking over existing spots. So you're really looking in an FBI grid pattern search, and you're seeing what's going on outwardly, because that store is there. That store has 300,000 or 400,000 in built-out infrastructure, and what you're going to do is change all the policies, procedures, have an attendant in there, and retool that store. So, oh my God,
Oh, you got one.
I got
Anyway, while he
$2.
reads his
Thank
exciting
you, John.
super chat,
Thank you, John.
I always say with self-serve car washes, location is like 90 to 95% of advertising. It's
Yeah.
your best advertising.
It's different.
Visibility from driving by is everything, because if they see a big brand new, a nice big painted, clean looking car wash where everything works, they're gonna see it. They're gonna pull in when they want a car wash. If it's, you know, that's gonna make maximum amount of money. But if you go around the corner,
I got $100.
Son of a-
Yeah, boy.
fisting you for that. But if you go, if
I
your
have to
car
pay her
wash
back.
is like 1 or 2 blocks down the side street, the main road's here, and it's like 2 blocks down the side street, and there's not much traffic driving by. People that have driven on that road 1,000 times won't even know it's there. So they're gonna have to advertise a lot more. So visibility from the main road is the best location you can have for a car wash.
That's huge. And it's funny how different it is with laundromats, because the preponderance of the people that come in, it's word of mouth. And so that WOM is always, you move into a new apartment and you ask, usually the complex, hey, where's the nearest laundromat? And they'll say it's that way. And a lot of laundromats can survive 3rd row in the corner with a tree over the sign. I've seen so many stores that literally have no sign.
Wow.
They've redone the plaza, and they refacade the entire plaza with new stucco, new signage, and then they go to the laundromat operator and they say, hey, your sign needs to meet the CC&Rs. It needs to be backlit, and it's going to be $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 to replace the sign. They don't. So you're wondering, how is that laundromat surviving? It barely is. Again, it's utterly preposterous. You should be earning that a week.
Yeah. I got a comment. Does Danny have a course on this? He does.
No.
If you click the link in my previous video's description.
Oh, yes.
And, you know.
Click his link, because then he gets a little wampum on
It
the
came
side.
from my comments, so I think that counts anyway.
Yeah. He'll put a link in this one on his video so you can get my silly course.
Yeah.
And I've been building on that course, not only with my information, my knowledge, all of my stores, how to go through all of it, how to essentially make those stores profitable, obtain them for free. Everything is in there.
I will say it's a fantastic course. I did watch the DVD when I was 17, little kid in Australia.
That's right.
So I've known this guy for, not known him personally, but I've known of him for 14, 15 years.
That's nuts.
And, you know, that's kind of cool. But
Speaking of,
and now he's in my house.
oh my
And
God.
now I can't get him to leave.
There's a shower scene in my course, by the way. You don't remember that part?
I didn't upgrade for that, but
If I say that we're going to cut this thing short so we can go to the bar,
it's about that time. Anyone
yeah.
from Australia watching? Just a quick shout out to Australia.
Oi.
Anyone watching? I did see someone from Melbourne further up in the comments, so good day. There is a car wash on Broadway in Lorraine,
on
Ohio.
Her
I'm sure they will
Majesty's
sell.
Secret Service, George Lazenby.
He's like a little kid right now.
For Danny's $2, how do you take a 2 to 3 week vacation
Your treat
from the
tonight for
business?
drinks.
Sure, that's a great question. You can actually leave. Well, first of all, I always ask people this: when's the last time you took a 2 or 3 week vacation? I'll wait. It's not really a reality very much. It's something that when I consult with people, that I really want to hear about you. Like I said earlier, I want to understand you. I want to know how I can best serve you, and I'll let people talk. And they'll say, well, I say, what do you love to do? What do you love? My family, my kids, my dogs. I pour myself into my work. When they say that, I'm like, that's not what you're about. You're not about being a contractor. You're not. And they'll break down and say they aren't. And I'll say, what do you love? They'll say travel. When's the last time you left town? It's been 5 years. When's the last time you left the country? Never have. I'm just saying, I want to talk about that reality first. When you've got enough stores, or even one store, you can hand the keys over to a trusted friend. You can trust that friend or family member to only steal very little. Look, if your store's making $25,000 a month, this month, next month, the month after, you know there's going to be $25K in the coffers. And if they steal 500 from you, but you're not going to farm it out, this is in the course, you never give the keys away. Never. I could trust my dad to only steal a little bit. But there are auditing methods, there are ways. Every changer has a counter in it. It counts every quarter. So just note that, let somebody take care of it.
Yeah, literally comes back to who you trust. That's it.
Yeah.
Who do you trust?
We were just talking about that with Uncle Stu. Where did he go? Did he leave? Did he go to the bar?
Yeah, Stuart's at the bar right now. How much revenue would air dryers and dirt removers bring in? A lot. You
Never
know,
heard of them.
if you don't have them, well, that's potentially, let's see, a customer might use the dirt remover to cover their car. It might take a minute. Actually, customers love the dirt remover. They just completely cover their car. Before they grab the soap brush, they spend probably 2 minutes covering their tires, the entire car, with dirt remover. And the way that I dispense of it through my little gun in the bay, it comes out very, very
Gonna
good.
get demonetized.
It just keep it clean. You know, the dirt remover, they spend 2 minutes with it. The air dryers, they love them. So once they're done washing their car, they'll dry the car for another 2 minutes, and that's what, 4 minutes, which is another $2.
You need a T-shirt that says "Let's keep it clean," and my shirt will say "fuck."
Sounds good.
I'm
Someone
gonna
make them
ask
for
where
us.
your shirts were.
Yeah. So
Yeah, I don't wear my funny shirts when I travel.
Oh, my funny shirt. I don't really have any.
we need to give a shout out to Ricardo Jimenez. He just said my
Ricardo.
DVD just came in today, Danny.
Ricardo, when you bought my course, we put you in the course. You're in there. You could have watched all of it. The DVD is something we still ship out. It's kind of a memento. It's a wall hanger. Put it in your closet. Do whatever. Everything that is in that DVD that I built 20 years ago is in the course and then some. There's 101 hours of information now. So thank you, Ricardo. God bless America.
And then also Shane
Keep
says,
talking about it.
how many
From Australia.
businesses can I own before it's too much?
Dude,
I still have it.
dude,
I still have it.
all the way from Australia.
You get-
Why does it smell like that?
It was, I think, left out in the rain one night. I still have it.
You should sign that.
I will
the-
sign it.
Yeah.
I have to put it on my wall, like you said.
That's crazy, man. That's so funny.
How many businesses, how many laundromats and car washes is too much?
Who's the biggest car wash guy? Do you even know?
I know.
You probably don't know him.
No, I do know him. I used to work for them when I was. I think he was about 17 or 18 in the California here, and he set them up where he rarely goes to them anymore. You know, it's just the
Yeah.
structure. He's got the manager who manages them all, and you know, it's the people on your team. You know, you got to have the right people to call, the right people that run it, and know how to fix things.
My sentiment exactly. One of my people said, "How much money is too much?" LOL. Don't ever LOL. Don't write it.
He hates
Don't
it.
say it. You're not. Is that what you just did? How much money is too much?
I've never texted you LOL.
No.
Well,
Stop.
I did once.
Stop
and,
LOLing.
I put in brackets. I know you hate it, but
Another T-shirt. Stop.
Danny
Stop
boy,
LOLing.
Got a question.
All right, we're getting. We just did it again.
Yeah, I think we're about to wrap this up and head to the bar. It's 5 o'clock somewhere.
Everyone comment on the video itself once we burn this down. It helps the channel. If you don't mind, subscribe. And I'll tell you, be selfish. We're selfish. We're human beings, right? I go live all of the time. I do live landlord calls. So it might be Monday morning. It might be Friday afternoon. And I might be a little tipsy, but I'm going to call landlords live. And it's fun. So don't do this for me. Don't do it for Chris. Be selfish. When you subscribe to my channel, you're not going to miss those. You get the notification, and you'll be right there. Then, if you've already done that, thumbs up and send me $100.
And before we go, January in Las Vegas.
Oh, that's right.
See, he doesn't even remember his own freaking roundtable
Whatever.
summit.
We are doing a roundtable summit in Las Vegas. I have to try to think of everyone.
Come along.
I will be there. This guy will be there. If you've ever understood what it is to go to a trade show or a summit like this, well, you're writing it off. So we're going to be in downtown Vegas. We're going to be helicopters, zip lining. There's going to be dead hookers. It's going to be great. Did you say that?
No.
Brandon from Investment Joy, Luke and Lee Williford with their 40 plus stores. We've got Finding Keenan, Following Keenan.
Hot Dogging with Dan.
Hot Dogging with Dan from Indianapolis.
Yeah. Whoop, whoop.
All of the good folks that have their YouTube channels that are not on our bad side will be there. Brandon alone, the value there, he loves when I talk him up. The guy's got a huge brain, a huge heart, and it's going to be tons of fun. Plus, it's Vegas.
It's going to be so much fun. And Danny's goal is to get kicked out of the Bellagio again.
We got kicked out of a casino the last time. Preston, thank you for the $5. Appreciate you.
No question, just $5.
We're,
Question.
Super chat.
Do you have to close a car wash during the winter?
No.
not here.
Business dips a little bit. I mean, it's California, so like 2 months out of the year, it's colder and rainier.
Isn't it winter right now? Jesus.
No.
70 degrees.
So yeah, the
nice.
income dips, you know, it goes from like 8 to 5 a week, but so what? You just get through it and you still profit as long as it all covers the expenses. You know, I might not be saving or reinvesting as much, but you know, 2 months out of the year, survive, and then the remaining 10 months, you make a load of money.
Got it.
Providing you do it right. It's got to be the best.
Link
Anyway.
in the description. Get the course.
Click all the things
You can
and
talk
stuff.
to Chris. I'm trying to talk him into doing a course himself. Maybe we'll collab on it and get it done right. I've been building on it, changing it, and really making it better. Because I'm the kind of guy that would never buy a course. I wouldn't. And it makes me the perfect guy to build the perfect course. Because I never wanted to sell $1 million and give a guarantee and have 500,000 returned. No one has ever returned this product. No one has ever said, because it's not a product. It's a way of life. It's understanding the everything. A day in the life, what it looks like. And I don't hide any of this. You guys ask questions, I'm happy to answer the questions. But all of the information is in one place. It's all there.
I mean,
what you
your
need to know.
course, someone can spend whatever your course is, a couple $100, 3, 4, 5, 6, doesn't matter. But that course can potentially save them $300,000.
It happens
Yeah.
all
It's
the time.
It's really priceless.
All
So,
the time. Thank you.
yeah, I mean,
17 years old, this little, he was probably only 6'3" then.
yeah, 6'3", like 220,
All right, we're running out of shit to do.
and then I grew into a real man.
We will be live tomorrow as well. We're going to go on a long, hour-long drive. There's your question and answer
2 hours.
to Chris's stores. We're also probably going to scout a nasty laundromat or two. We're filming all of this in full, true HD.
Yeah, so
And-
everything we talked about today,
Yeah.
you will see put into practice tomorrow. You know, you'll see how my car washes are ran. Hopefully they're clean and there's no real problems. But If there is, even better, because I'll show you how easy it is to fix things. And then we can stop at a few laundromats, and Danny can give you the rundown on what he would change or how he would contact the owner and all the stuff we would put into practice. So we're not
Joe?
just talking shit.
Comment, Joe, on what you want me to say to your laundromat attendant tomorrow when we visit your store because you're not there.
We'll be nice. Don't worry.
Millions.
Your hair routine in the course, someone wants to know. They say
It's-
you remind them of Iron Man.
Thank you.
Cool. Got word.
Wolverine and Iron Man. I should have worn that shirt. All right, we're leaving.
That's it. Thanks for watching, guys. We love each and every one of you.
We will make love to each and every one of you.
In
Especially-
Vegas on January 14 and 15.
Good job.
Time to be determined tomorrow.
All right.
Someone wants to know what time.
Oh, I don't know. Whenever we go live. We were supposed to do this 4 hours ago.
Just keep the notifications on and it'll ding ding and then you can...
Bye!
Bye.